Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel's about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. So we're going to get into this sewer rat. Yes, we are. And the reason why I'm doing this one here because I basically want to focus on gaslighting, manipulation, and what he was doing to his ex-girlfriend, his child's mother, on the stand. His whole goal. I believe this was day 12 on the stand. So we're going to do a little bit of a recap. So we're going to get back to the day when he was, questioning her on the stand. And then how he had the nerves to pull out pictures and stuff. We're going to get into that. Then we're going to also show how he had a narcissistic injury. And since he had a narcissistic injury, which caused him to go into a narcissistic rage. So we're going to show how he goes off on the prosecutor. All right. So I'm going to show these two clips. All right. And please, what you do is you like the video, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Also, check the description because I have timestamps for the people that's watching the replay. And let me know what you think. And this evening we have my co-host, the real Jack Newtown. He's here. So he's going to be co-hosting with me. So every time I might pause the video a little bit to share my thoughts, okay? Because this is all basically my channel is more of a teaching channel to teach you to date smart and not thirsty. So I get a lot of things about dealing with relationships, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. And dynamics, there's a lot of good relationships, there's a lot of bad relationships, there's a lot of toxic people. And you need to know the signs and the red flags that you're dealing with these type of people. These narcissists, these sociopaths, these histrionics, these borderline personality disorders, the whole psychopaths. Who am I missing? That's a histrionic, yeah, the whole cluster B. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, get ready to get into it. And make sure you hit the like. All right, so we're gonna start off here. And who do we have up in here? Shoot, what's up? And blessings to you. Look how happy and confident he looks there. And BG, hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. All right, so we're going to get ready to get into the first one. So now the first one that we're going to show you. Now this one here, this is when he has Erika Patterson back on the stand, right? And I believe it's day 12. So he's going to question her. And then he's going to try to be slick by throwing out these pictures as lying. But I also wanted to add that I forgot to state, and I've been wanting to do this, but then I also got encouraged more to do it because one of my viewers had requests. I am whosoever, and thank you for watching video. Thank you for the request. It says, I'm begging you to please show the video where he yells at the prosecution, which I am going to show, for calling him a sex offender, and also the video of him when he tries to show photos of his grandson and said that Erika Patterson sent them and she didn't. His mother did. So yeah, we're gonna get into that one. So let's focus on that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Go ahead.
Defense calls Erika Patterson.
Thank you. We'll have her brought in.
Since I'm being rushed to judgment.
Good morning, Ms. Patterson. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right.
You see how he's procrastinating, right?
Please remain standing.
Hello, Kate.
Raise your
Hugs and
right
kisses to you,
hand, and
beautiful.
my wife, Teresa, who's across from you and on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record.
Erika Patterson.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Oh, the one spelling the name?
I believe it's on the record from previously, but go ahead. You can spell your first and last names, please.
Erika Patterson.
Just 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find some relevant paperwork here.
Isabella and Chris, good evening.
1 second.
Now, just see how he's just basically wasting time right now. This is a form of control he's trying to have with her because he's mad. Yeah, I bet you he really blames that the reason why he ran through these people because of her. If he didn't get her upset, if she didn't get him upset, he would have never did what he did. See, this is what these narcs and sociopaths do, ladies and gentlemen. They always like to blame this, blame other people. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions. Look, I'm just taking his lovely time. He just, because he knows that she's nervous sitting on the stand. She doesn't want to be there. But this is his time to degrade her, to devalue her, and to gaslight her.
I'm sorry about that. 1 second. I'm trying to find this paperwork. Just had it on the table.
When you're ready.
Come on, Phil Rat, move a little faster. He's just trying to torture her. This is what it's all about. That's this whole goal right now. And hopefully everybody having themselves a blessed and a good evening.
Did you print that off for me? Did you email? No, it's still not here. What's your name? Did you stop?
I'm just gonna start the questioning. I'm not seeming to find paperwork that I just had on the table for some reason, odd reason. Good morning, Miss Patterson.
Good morning.
So, what do you do for a living?
I have my CNA certificate.
I'm gonna direct your attention to the evening of November 21st, 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
I was hanging out with my friend Corey at Frame Park. I had spoken to you, Mr. Darrell Brooks. You came out there at Frame Park and met me after Miss Corey separated from me with her friend. Me and you got into an argument.
Whoa. Pursuant to the question?
I am answering your question.
I was referring to the judge.
I was hanging out
I
with
think
Miss
I kind of
Corey.
got a little ahead of.
Oh, Mr. Brooks, just I'll let you interrupt the answer and you can ask a follow-up. I apologize. I was instructing the clerk to turn up the volume. So go ahead, ask your question.
Same question?
Sure.
What were you doing the evening of November 21st, 2021, before linking up with the alleged defendant?
Hanging with my roommate at the time at Frame Park.
And what were you and your roommate doing?
You covered this ground during her testimony.
objection and grounds for, I object to that and grounds for the objection on behalf of the state.
Mr. Brooks, we did cover many of these topics previously, so if there's new topics, please go to those. I'll give you a little bit of leeway to lay some foundation, but go ahead, ask your question.
That's
The
with the,
objection is from the state is overruled. Do you remember the question?
You asked me what we were doing at the park with Corey? Is that your question?
yes.
We were drinking. I was drinking my hard beverage.
Do you recall around what time of the evening it was when you and your roommate arrived at the park?
I do not remember. We left where we were staying a little around afternoon. A little bit around afternoon.
Do you recall having any phone interactions during that time when you and your roommate were at the park?
Phone interaction, yes.
Do you recall who they were with?
You.
What do you mean by you?
Darrell Brooks.
Spelling checks are so 90s. It's time for a writing
Is that usually the name you refer to the alleged defendant by?
No.
See how he's taking his sweet time to question her. And he's asking her questions that, why it's not important. Because right now he's trying to set her up to devalue her, to embarrass her, to insult her. Because deep down he's angry. He hates her. These type of people, these narcs and sociopaths, they don't like nobody, okay? They don't like anybody. And he's angry at her because he feels in his mind, in his little sick, twisted mind, and this is my thoughts and opinions, okay? I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions, that if she would have just cooperated or whatever, didn't get him upset, he would never ran through that crowd. And it's sick. This is how they think. Okay, resume. And good evening to everybody that's coming in. Make sure you please hit the like button and feel free to engage.
He's a piss color boy.
Okay. That's my co-host, the real Jack Newtown. Let's get
Hello, everyone.
it. Yes, Jack is in the house. Let's get it.
Would it be fair to say that during those phone interactions, there was a talk of you guys meeting up? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall, to the best of your recollection, what time that would have been at?
No, I don't remember. It was throughout the day.
I'm sorry, are you making references to the phone conversations being throughout the day?
Yes.
And so at some point, would it be fair to say that you did meet up with the alleged defendant?
Yes.
Do you recall what time that was?
I just told you no.
What did you just say, Rusty? I'm dying.
Do you recall if you were still at the park during that time or had you moved locations?
Still at the park.
And was your roommate still present with you at that time?
No, she left.
Okay, let's have a little quick class since, people is coming in here, okay? The main focus of this, the reason why I'm showing this, because I want to get into what is a sociopath, okay? And this is this man right here. These are all my thoughts and opinions, but let's get it. A sociopath has little regards for another person's emotions, rights, or experiences. They lack remorse for their actions and they act in a way that shows no regards for others, including lying, cheating, and manipulating. Some people with this condition aren't very sly about their conduct, others are quite deceptive. Now, also, we're going to get into it's gaslighting. Now, this is what he is doing. Well, basically, he's been doing all through the court was gaslighting. Okay, these narcs, sociopaths, all the cluster B personality disorders. This is what they do. All right. So right now, this is his time to really gaslight her. His last time, because he knows he's not coming out. He's never going to be around her. He could never control her. He could never put his hands on her or nothing of the sort. So this is his time his last time to dig at her, to throw jabs at her. So he's gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind, and this is what he's trying to do. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power, control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition. Let's resume.
We went separate ways. I stayed at the park, and she went her other way with her friend,
Do you recall who that friend was?
Nick.
Chris, that is so true.
I'm assuming, or let me back that up. Would it be fair to say that at some point during the meetup with the alleged defendant, things got a little chaotic? That'd be fair to say?
Yes.
And do you recall if
Rusty, we're gonna touch on that after this clip. We're gonna touch on that one.
at that point at the park?
When we met up,
Yes.
well, we were at the park for a second, then we drove around.
Where did you drive to?
Around, then me and you, Mr. Brooks, were arguing in the car. We went up this. It's a street. It's like a hill. Went up there, and then me and you got into an altercation. I got out of the car, walked back towards Frame Park.
Oh, wait, again.
Hold on, she's answering your question. You
Okay.
asked her where you drove from. Go ahead.
And then, yes, ma'am. And then I was walking down the street, and I left your car. And that's when you followed me, and I walked back towards Frame Park. And you were following me.
Made reference to walk back to Frame Park.
I don't know the exact street name. It was the walk back down the hill. I don't know the exact street name.
Did you at any time, sorry, did you at any time during your travels back to Frame Park, did you at any time notice that there was something going on in the area?
No. When I got to Frame, I was too worried about walking back to Frame Park. When I got to Frame Park after I left it, that's when I realized there's something going on.
And did you ever arrive back at Frame Park?
Yes.
And what did you do when you arrived back at Frame Park?
I called my friend Corey and told her that me and Mr. Brooks got into an altercation. Mr. Brooks was following me. I went back to the SUV, the car, and you argued with me some more. I walked back across the street, and by that time, Miss Corey had walked towards us to meet up with me.
You made reference to you calling your friends.
Mhm.
Do you recall? Well, let me back up a little bit. Did you call your friend Corey or the friend that she had left you to hang out with?
Corey's phone, I kept calling her phone. Her phone kept going to voicemails, and I called Nick's phone. He put Corey on the phone. I said, Darrell Brooks had just hit me.
I'm going to back up a little bit, if I may, to the day prior, November 20th of 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that day?
Well, where I was staying at the shelter at first, I was arguing still with Mr. Brooks all throughout the day. Me and Corey had left, and Corey and I stepped away, and I went back to Frame Park. On the Frame Park, that's where I met you at. Me and you also got into argument that day, but we didn't drive around. We're at the Frame Park.
Now this is when he gonna really throw in some daggers at her, because he knows it's killing her. Sitting up there, I know she's probably having a big case of anxiety. You know, you're looking at this man who's abused you for years of torture from this man. What a shame. Let's get in. This is what these narcissists, sociopaths, all these cluster B personality disorders do. This is what they do. And they want to holler. His mama and his grandma want to holler about mental health. There's a difference between a mental health and a personality disorder. Let's get it. I meant mental
So you're
illness.
saying that you and the alleged defendant were together the day of November 20th, 2021?
Yes.
Do you recall around what time that was?
I do not remember.
You just brought up something, Rusty. It's sad she's a grandma. Looks to me like a young lady just ready to start life and career, grows up so fast. Yep. Yeah, she's a grandma. All right, resume.
And you stated you were briefly with your friend Corey that day?
Yeah, but she went a whole different direction. She didn't come to Frame Park with me. She turned on a whole different street right before Frame Park.
Do you recall at any time on November 21st of 2021 being interviewed by a Detective Guth?
Yep.
And do you recall giving a recorded report at that time?
I don't remember.
Do you recall if you had given Detective Goof all the details of the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021?
I didn't give him all the details, but I did the next day when I seen him.
Just look at him taking his time. This is like a form of torture.
Were you aware that it was reported there was in fact no incident on November 20th, 2021?
That's not true.
Objection. Move to strike for and the question.
Grounds.
Lack of personal knowledge, hearsay.
Sustained. I'll strike the question and the answer. The reason stated, sir, rephrase, or
So can I show the witness the same paperwork that I attempted to show?
no.
And why not?
Not relevant.
Because she's a judge, she could do that.
How's it not
He
relevant
blamed
when
him.
that was just testified to? Wouldn't that be opening the door?
No. Next question.
Coffee cake, you got a point there.
Any reason why it would be reported no incident happened on November 20th of 2021?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Since facts not in evidence, sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
The record speaks for itself.
So upon speaking to Detective Goof during the first interview, do you recall why you were not forthright with information?
It wasn't that I was not forthright. I just didn't tell him everything right away.
Why not?
I don't know, Mr. Brooks.
When speaking with a law enforcement officer, would it be fair to say that you should be truthful and honest?
I was very truthful. I just didn't tell him everything at once. Told him the next day, Mr. Brooks.
And in the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021, were you injured?
No. Well, you did hit me a little, well, like a little.
Were you injured?
No, I didn't have any marks on me. Is that what you're asking?
So where were you injured?
By my lip?
Objection. This states the evidence.
Grounds.
Now he's asking her where she was injured. See, that's manipulation, that's gaslighting. He's picking at her. And he's actually enjoying that he did hit her and, that she's hurt. And he's proud of it. This is sick. This man is totally sick and twisted. But thank God he's not on the streets anymore. He's gone. Resume.
I believe the witness understood the question. She answered it. It may stand.
Did your roommate observe any injuries from the alleged incident on November 20th, 2021?
She knew about it, but there's nothing visible on my face.
Do you know if your roommate had spoken with law enforcement about these alleged incidents
I
from
don't know.
November 20th of 2021 and November 21st of 2021?
I don't know.
Did she ever tell you yourself that she was interviewed by any law enforcement?
I don't remember.
One second. So what time did you meet up with the alleged defendant on November 20th, 2021?
I don't remember.
Morning time? evening
Afternoon.
time? I didn't hear that.
Afternoon.
And what were you doing prior to the alleged meeting up with the alleged defendant?
Objection.
Grounds?
Asked and answered.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Asked and answered.
When?
Next question, please.
When was it answered?
See that little smug look on his face? This is all a game to him. It's all a game. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they are. You have to stay away from these personality disorders. You have to stay away from them. They're nothing but dangerous manipulators, gaslighters, users, and abusers. And some to the point they could be dangerous that they will kill you. Yes. And think nothing of it. Especially psychopaths. Oh my gosh. They don't have no feelings, no remorse, no nothing. I mean, they just walk around the earth and whatever. Nothing. They very dangerous. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, to the people that's coming in, thank you for coming in. Thank you for engaging. And please make sure you hit the like button. Okay? And let's get back to it.
So to the best of your recollection, you can't recall why an alleged incident on November 20th of 2021 was reported to never happen.
Objection.
Grounds.
Same reasons as the previous objections.
Seems facts not in evidence. It's characterizes her prior testimony and irrelevant.
I object to that respectfully and
Next
ask for a
question.
legal finding of fact and a legal.
Realist blessings to you, brother. Just look at him. You know, trying to look like he's all professional. He's a big time lawyer. See, and that's nothing about these personality disorders. They're very delusional. They like to play different characters, you know, different type of people. It's like Halloween for them every day. You don't know what they're going to be like. But I'll say one thing. They're dangerous and no good for nothing. All right, let's resume.
Reconsideration of that ruling, Your Honor.
Denied. Noted for the record. Next question, please.
I'm trying to figure out how something got pulled out of thin air. Interesting.
Rusty. Ooh, hold a second. Let me. Love, laugh, and live. Blessings to you, beautiful. Rusty, great point you said. He really believes that because he beat the horn, people should have gotten out of the way. See, this is how their minds are, Rusty. This is how they think. They always have an excuse for something, and they want to shift it on somebody else. So I beat my horn. You should just got out the way. You wouldn't have got hit. Are you flipping kidding me? Because he's not normal. Resume.
So it would be fair to say that you have a child in common with the alleged defendant. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Amen
Is
to
that
that,
the only
coffee.
child in common?
Yes.
You have any other children?
Objection.
It has
Grounds.
nothing to do with the case. Sorry.
Hold on, there's been an objection.
Now, this is when he's going to try to devalue her. Okay, trying to put her down as an unfit mother. Okay, this is his time. He's trying to insult her. And this, I remember this when this happened in the court, and I was so furious. So furious. Like, how could you do that? But hey, that's their personality. That's how they are. All right, resume. Make sure everybody hit the like button, please. Hit the like. And good evening to everybody who's coming in. Excuse me if I'm being rude, if I miss you. I just want to get through this, and I want to, break down certain things because we're focusing on gaslighting. We focus on manipulation of what he's doing to her on this stand. That's the main focus here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Not relevant. Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain?
The record speaks for itself. Next question.
What was the record speaking for itself? I didn't hear it.
Not relevant.
How's it not relevant?
Next question, please.
How's it not relevant? The child that you have in common with the alleged defendant. How old is that child?
15.
Do you keep regular contact with that child?
Off and on.
Describe what you mean by off and on.
I'll object.
Grounds.
This is not relevant.
Not relevant. Sustained.
Grounds.
It's not relevant, sir.
She answered it.
Next question, please.
And the child in common that you have with the alleged defendant. Does that child live with you?
No.
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevant.
Grounds.
Sustained, not relevant. You don't have to answer that.
Do any of your children live with you?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevant.
Sustained.
If everybody can, put in what state that y'all from. I'm just curious where everybody's watching from, if you don't mind. If not, I understand. But if you can, put the state that y'all from. And Hughes said, the judge protected Erika on the rat redirect. I pray Erica would find a clean, decent life for her and all her children so they all can live together as a family. Amen to that one. Amen to that one. Because of this sewer rat. See, when you bring these type of monsters in your life, they will ruin your life. And sometimes they ruin your life to the point that it's no returning back. You just stuck with them. You know, you stuck with this type of life because of them. And he's just enjoying it. You monster, you sewer rat, you piece of crap. Oh, and there's so many of them like this. It's not just him. There's so many of these sick individuals out here that gaslight people, use people, manipulate people. You know, you walk around, it could be your coworker, it could be your boss, your next door neighbor, your children, your parents, your best friend, or your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. They all over. Resume.
Grounds for the sustain?
Not relevant.
That goes to the credibility, Your Honor. So how's it not relevant?
The objection has been sustained.
For relevancy. I object to that and would like to inform you that I intend to appeal that decision unless you want to give a legal reconsideration of that ruling.
Noted for the record, I direct your attention to 906.16, and the basis for the objection being sustained is it does not fall within the categories listed. Next question.
Is that lawful law?
Next question, please, sir.
I'm getting there. This is lawful law.
Wisconsin State Statute 906.16.
That doesn't answer my question, but okay. Where did you meet the alleged defendant?
Reno, Nevada.
How long have you known the alleged defendant?
16 years.
You made reference to meeting in Nevada. Do you recall where you met at in Nevada?
No, I don't remember.
In relation to the alleged incident on November 21st of 2021, would it be fair to say that there's been no contact between you and the alleged defendant?
Not since then, no.
That last answer was kind of low. Did you say no?
I said no, not since then.
So that would mean, assuming that.
Welcome, Blue Eyes Crying. Glad to have you aboard at Donna's place. And to everyone else, too, welcome aboard. Let's get it.
Would mean no contact at all via phone or anything like that.
No.
So my question would be, I don't know if you can see them from here, but do you recognize these pictures?
You need to show those to the state. The bailiff will take them. That's not proper procedure, sir.
First of 2021, would it be fair to say that there's been no contact between you and the alleged defendant?
Not since then, no.
That last answer was kind of low. Did you say no?
I said no, not since then.
So that would mean, assuming that would mean no contact at all via phone or anything like that.
No.
So my question would be, I don't know if you can see them from here, but do you recognize these pictures?
Low down, dirty sewer rat. Low down. Sat there and lied up in the courtroom. See, this is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they do. Low down, dirty dog. Definitely is a sewer rat, you piece of crap. Resume.
You need to show those to the state. The bailiff will take them. It's not proper procedure, sir.
I'm gonna object to those being shown as a witness. They have no relevance whatsoever to this trial.
Yes, they do. And I'm getting to how they have relevance.
They've also never been disclosed to the state before this moment.
Sustained.
Sustain why?
Not relevant.
They are relevant. It creates foundation. And I can prove that.
I'll take up the issue outside the presence of the jury at the conclusion of this witness, and if need be, bring the witness back in. But next question, please.
And these need to be offered into evidence as well. You stated that there's been no contact. How would the alleged defendant obtain photographs from you if there's been no contact?
Objection.
Grounds.
Back.
Grounds.
Sustained. Assumes facts not in evidence, not relevant.
How's it not relevant? Photos just don't pop up out of the blue.
Mr. Brooks assumes facts not in evidence,
No,
and at
facts.
this point,
I got the pictures
conduct
right here.
after
Facts.
the alleged date of violation here, it's not relevant.
Alleged violation.
You're
For the record.
correct. After the date charged, that the dates that are charged for these allegations, you are absolutely correct.
Thank you.
I'm over here cracking up. What did Shu say? I wish Judge Judy would bust in and say, I asked the questions here. You sewer rat. Next question. Oh yeah, Judge Judy would have went in on this one. Okay, resume.
Have you, since the evening of November 21st of 2021, have you attempted to contact the alleged defendant?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
I'm going to excuse the jury. I'll rise for the jury. seated.
It's awful funny. Your Honor, I find
Oh,
it.
hold on. All right, sir, I'm going to let you make an offer of proof as to why you believe the photographs and the questioning about contact after the alleged incident is relevant.
It's relevant because these were sent by the witness.
It assumes a fact, not an evidence, but
You
what
want
is,
the letter
hold
too?
on. Tell me the basis you believe there's been communication and why you believe it's relevant to her testimony.
It's relevant because it was testified to her first time testifying, and then also by what's the last guy, Guth, that he was told that the witness was supposed to be so deeply afraid of me and all this type of stuff. So if you're so deeply afraid and worried about somebody and this and that, why would you seek to have
Do you want
contact?
to open up the door to the other act's evidence of?
That's not opening.
No.
That's not
Hear me
opening the
out.
door.
Hear me out. Oh, yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
These witnesses have been incredibly careful to abide by my rulings. Sometimes in a court of law, when there are pretrial rulings, the testimony of a witness needs to be said in such a way not to run afoul of that. This witness, Detective Guth, I believe Detective Casey and others, Corey Runkle, and even Nicholas Kirby yesterday, this court has all had to stop them so that they didn't run afoul, or they stopped themselves so that they didn't run afoul of the court.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm correct, it's about 120 people in here. Please help please hit the like button. That really helps out the content creator. If you like the content, just hit the like if you don't mind, please. Thank you. Let's get back to it.
Pretrial ruling on other acts evidence between you and this witness. And I have been very, very careful to make sure that doesn't come in. But if you keep questioning her about whether she's afraid or not, or why she wouldn't have contact or not, you are opening the door to that testimony. All of my rulings have been made to prevent what could be seen as prejudicial evidence. The standard's not prejudicial. The standard's whether it's unfairly prejudicial. But you can open the door to that, sir.
It's unfairly prejudicial that I have a document stating that November 20th never even happened, but yet and still the witness can get on the stand and lie on the stand.
Over to the state.
Come on, man. Y'all know that's not right. Y'all know that's not right.
Then you need to immediately turn it over to the state right now. It may become relevant, but no one has seen it. When did you receive the document? Hold on. I'm having you make an offer. When did you receive the document?
Okay, but I just want to state for the record, Your Honor, that's kind of biased because the state did the same thing yesterday with creating an exhibit right on the fly that didn't even exist that I didn't have. But
that's not true. That's a misstatement of the evidence.
That is true.
No.
She said it herself.
No. Marking an exhibit is not creating an exhibit.
No, not marking an exhibit. She said
we're not going to go down a tangent, sir.
Right,
I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to make a record.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
When did you receive this document that you claim was sent by this witness?
It's not claimed. It's for a fact.
Sir, it hasn't been established yet. I need to make a record.
So do y'all want the letter?
See the letter.
What?
I want to see the letter.
Okay, so I got.
And I want to know when you received it.
I got to bring that in. Every time, this is what I don't get. Every time I'm presenting something that needs to be made.
Surratt, you are such a clown. You see this? Oh, I guess I got to bring this in. Oh my gosh. Resume.
For the record, and placed in the evidence, it's a problem. But the state can do it, no problem.
It's not, sir. There are proper procedures, and
Okay,
I want you to
that
make
was the
a
proper
record.
procedure.
If you don't make a record,
So
then
what?
I can't make a ruling.
It threw people off a loop. They weren't ready for it. They scared of it. That's what it is. Come on, man.
Mr. Brooks.
Come on, man. Stop.
When you
Stop
aren't
it. Stop it.
Stacy G, you see? Look at my watermark on top. Don't the ears do match? He really does look like a sewer rat. Really does. Just look at it. Look. Everybody look up on top, the watermark. You see what I'm talking about? Let's resume.
You're a
me
public
ask
servant, Your Honor.
questions.
I respect your courtroom. I
You
respect you. You're a public servant, though. Your job is to be the referee. Is it or is it not? You stated so yourself on record that your job is being the umpire.
Your Honor, can I ask Ms. Patterson please be excused?
Yes, you can be excused. My apologies.
My apologies too, but it needs to be some truth. Especially when
shut up, you street urchin.
And say that it happened when they know it didn't happen.
So I'm going to make a record about what
This
he's
is
referring
ridiculous,
to
man.
in count 77.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my co-host, the real Jack Newtown.
Hello, everybody, while everyone listens to this sociopathic, piss-colored idiot.
Okay, Jack. Let's get it.
Okay.
What happened to that paper? Because it was on the table. Then when I
Mr.
come
Brooks,
back in,
I
it's
need to
nowhere
make a
be found.
record of a variety of
So who
things.
took my paper?
And you keep interrupting me repeatedly today. I have shown an abundance.
Now he's accusing people of missing papers. Really, sewer rat? Really? See, they just be pulling out anything out their rear. Anything. This is what they do. And you know, one thing I have to say is, ladies and gentlemen, what I feel sorry is, if I'm correct, this judge is pregnant. I could be wrong. I'll be standing corrected or whatever. I read somewhere. I don't know if it was, true or not. And I just hope not. And because she had to, carry a baby in her stomach, being around this sewer rat, this devil in the room, dealing with this stress coming from him. Okay, resume.
Of patience this morning. I've warned you repeatedly about being removed from the courtroom. And then every time I try to get into it, you, meaning an explanation and make a record, you interrupt, you attempt to divert everyone from what is being done this very second.
I didn't attempt to do anything.
Yes, you do it repeatedly,
Okay,
sir.
whatever.
So you're doing it once again.
Whatever. Just make your record.
The document that Mr. Brooks wanted to show Detective Guth and this witness was a letter sent from the state of Wisconsin to the court regarding count 77. The state sought to dismiss that count, and they have prosecutorial discretion, and I granted the request that the charge be dismissed.
Why was the charge dismissed?
And that's, I can't answer. It was dismissed because the request was made, sir. They don't need a reason. There's an abundance of case law about prosecutorial discretion. And they chose not to pursue that. My guess is maybe to simplify things and to keep this tidy. I don't know. You know what? I'll indulge you. Attorney Hopper, would you like to provide a basis for why the state sought dismissal of that charge prior to the start of this trial?
Yes, Your Honor, because as Ms. Patterson just testified a short while ago, she did not have any visible marks or injuries from that event. And we did have the photographs of her injuries. We did not want to confuse the record as to whether or not there was a battery that occurred on November 20th.
Your Honor, I object to that. What does the letter read?
You have the letter. You showed it to me, sir.
And I've been trying to find it ever since I came back in, and now all of a sudden I can't.
And now you're impugning, though, like somehow you're impugning the integrity of this court, of the bailiffs of this state. You're accusing, frankly, everyone of moving your papers.
Did I point the finger at anyone? Did I say anyone did anything?
Not directly, but indirectly you did,
So
sir.
how can you make the assumption that I'm saying?
Can I please make the record without you interrupting?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. I apologize.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But you made repeated comments, sir. I can't find my documents.
Bridget just called the piss color street urchin instead of sewer rat.
You took multiple minutes before you even asked your first question of Ms. Patterson. And if I need to, I'll have a bailiff put on the record that no one touched your table.
Your Honor, did I say anyone touched my table? I didn't
You
say you.
implied it, sir.
But did I say that?
You
never
stated
said
it implicitly.
I never asked the bailiff, hey, did any one of you touch my table? I never said it on my paper, which is the truth.
And the
I'm
way
looking
that
down.
you said it, like,
I didn't point anyone
with
out though.
and like,
I
well,
don't
that's
think that
kind
that's
of
fair.
interesting.
I don't
I don't
think that
have a
that's fair to
document that was
assume.
just on my table. That is what you said.
That's
Words
what
to
I
that
said, but
effect.
I did not point the finger at anyone.
So
I can
you
see
have
if
the
I
letter.
came in, Your Honor, with
You've
all
been
respect,
given.
I can see if I came in and said, hey, one of you moved something off my table, or if I would have directed that towards the state, or if I directed that towards the clerks or something like that, then that would be more of a validity to what you're saying.
I need to continue with the record, sir. It's very apparent to me, sir, that every time, I can't say every time because that would be an absolute, but many times throughout this trial, and especially the last 2 days, when the court makes a ruling that you agree with, or I want to make a record about some behavior of yours, or a further record about a ruling that you that was not in your favor, that you start peppering me with questions or comment statements. You question me about the law. You ask, is it verified law? It is, from my perspective, a clear attempt to kind of turn us in a direction away from what we're doing, perhaps even to stall and to delay.
I'm sorry.
That's my perspective. That I'm making a rule. You're doing it again.
I mean, because it has.
Thank you to everyone let me know. Because I read that she was, but I don't know how good that source article that I was reading. So I don't know if she is or she's not. I'm not sure. But thank you for sharing that. And 603 in the house. Good evening. Hello, Miss Donna, Mr. Jack and chat. Hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. All right, let's resume.
No validity.
So I am trying to make a record outside the presence of the jury about a line of questioning you want to now and 9616, which are two of the primary ways you can attack credibility. I've referenced one of those previously. 90608 is evidence of character and conduct of a witness. I'm not going to read through it all, but it's limited to character for truthfulness or untruthfulness. It's not specific instances of conduct. It's character evidence, which frankly wouldn't even come from the witness who's testifying. All right, then there's the statute on bias, 90616. All right, and none of the questions as I heard them went to a permissible topic under bias of witnesses. You generally said credibility. You did not give me any further explanation as to why you believed it was relevant to credibility. Now we have you claiming that there's some document that was sent by the witness after the charges were filed that apparently contained photographs. I think, and you can clarify the record momentarily when I'm done, that you believe goes to the credibility of this witness. So I need to ask a few questions about that, sir, to determine whether it has relevance to those issues. Number one, when did you receive this letter?
I received this multiple letters actually over a period of time. It wasn't, I referred to this one because this one had the pictures. But
and why do you believe it was from
to
Ms.
answer your
Patterson?
question, to answer your question with clarity.
Thank you. Does it have a date on it? The letter?
No, I didn't bring the letter. I brought the pictures because I thought from my intention, I thought showing the pictures would be okay. How did I get these? So my mind was saying, show the pictures. They didn't come out of thin air. The witness knows that they sent me the pictures. They know that.
Well, again, it assumes facts that aren't here. You're assuming this witness sent it. I don't know. But even if she did, what relevance does it have to her credibility before this jury?
It goes to the credibility because she's put on this facade of being so afraid of someone, but yet still, you know that we're not supposed to have contact, but you still sneaking behind and saying, "Oh, I wonder how you're doing," and oh, this and this and that.
I don't think she's ever said she was afraid. I
ooh.
think that was the officers who may have stated that, but I don't believe she ever said that. She specifically said today when you asked her, why did you, it was either why did you go back or why did you have, I'll look at my notes. And she said, I don't know.
It was why weren't you forthright with all the details? That was the question.
So again, I'm going to ask you, even if this letter's from her, these pictures are from her, how does it relate to her credibility before the jury?
Who else could these pictures be from?
I'm going to ask you point blank. Did you get a letter that's signed from her?
I got. What do you mean signed? No,
how do you know?
Letters.
What's your why do you have a belief that they are from her?
I have multiple letters from her.
You're not answering my question. Why do you believe the letters are from Erika Patterson?
Because they were sent from Erika Patterson. Why else would I?
Were they signed by her?
What do you mean signed?
Did she write her name on the letter? Was it the content of the letter? No, I'm not kidding you. I need to make a record, sir. You're making a statement that these letters are from her and that they're relevant to her credibility.
Your Honor, I'm going to go out on the limb here.
And I'm asking you why you hold that opinion.
I'm going to go out on the limb here and assume, which I know is true, you've never been in my position. You've never been in jail. So you've never received a letter from someone writing someone in jail. No one is going to... When you
You're
say
not
to
answering
me,
my
when
question,
you say to
sir.
me,
What's the basis why you believe they're from Miss Patterson? Is there some information in them that only she would know? Did she sign the letters? Is it penmanship that you recognize? Why do you believe they're from her as opposed to somebody else sending you information? Could be your mom, could be, I'm just saying, could be anybody else. You got to answer my question. It's called an offer of proof.
But you still got to understand why this is mind-boggling to me. Like, I got to chat with this woman. Why would I not know her handwriting?
But you have to have a foundation for these letters, sir. That might be through your own testimony. So that I'm trying to figure out why you believe they're from her, not all this other stuff. I'm in jail and I have a child. I'm trying to, I need to know. It's called an offer of proof.
Are you serious?
What do you believe? Why do you believe they're from her? I am serious.
Because they're from her.
But you're assuming.
Like how else am I supposed to answer that?
I've given you a few reasons why it would lend to that opinion.
So it has to be put in a legal term.
The bottom line is I need the letter. So if you're going to question her on that, the state absolutely has a right to see the letter. So you need to provide that letter. The bottom line is I'm not going to allow any questioning without having that letter. So the state has the ability to question you about that or question this witness and to look at the veracity of what your claims are here. So I may take an early lunch. If that's in your cell, then you can go get it and bring it. But without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How many times I got to say this?
This is what they do. They so animated with the hand movement, the expressions. Look at his yuck mouth. Put your mask back on, yuck mouth. Why would anybody want to date you? Just look at you. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, people who's just coming in, let me know where you're from. Who didn't say it before? If you don't mind, I'm just curious to know where everybody's from. And Frugal, hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. Put where you from, and thank you for coming in. Thank you for engaging, and thank you for hitting that like button too. I appreciate that. All right, let's resume.
The same thing on record.
Sometimes, sir, I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it.
Quiet room,
Everybody
yes,
is
we hear. Once again,
It's not a tactic, it's facts. It's facts.
To some other reason.
It's facts. Because
some
I
other
find
thing.
it hard to believe that
I'm gonna
all
let
of
the
a sudden
state.
nobody hears what I say.
I'm gonna let the state
man,
make
stop.
a record of why they
Stop.
believe it's objectionable, because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you
So
believe
I
it's.
didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was
The
somebody
record will
else
reflect you have 2 pictures that you believe were from this witness.
that I know is from?
No, that you believe.
That I know.
All right, I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. 1, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. 2, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erika Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
That's a lie. I object to
Let the
that.
state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
3, I believe that these photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erika Patterson is a bad mom. I think that is what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erika Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada. And for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erika.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen, class is in session. What he's doing right now, he's calling him out. He's causing a narcissistic injury towards Surat. So watch, Surat is going to explode. He's going to have a narcissistic rage. This is what they do. All right, resume. It's getting ready to happen in a second. Let's get it.
Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I object to that.
I'm not
Because that's a lie.
Let
Because
him
at the end
finish.
of the day,
Let
if
him
we
finish,
don't open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate on the record since you think you know so much.
Once
So
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on
being
we can open the door on how old she told me she was when we met.
interrupting.
We can ask
He's-
that
he
question
is
too then.
over the
Did you
top
ask that?
animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
No,
finish.
I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, he will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess, 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it then so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much. Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
I've been advised he can hear and see. Mr. Brooks, we are on the record. I'll go through the topics one by one. You are in the other courtroom. You are invited back here. Would you like to come back here? Yes or no? The audio is on. Would you like to come back to this courtroom, sir?
You're unmuted. So I'm finally unmuted.
You've been unmuted for a while since I came back on. My understanding, sir, is you'd like to be in that other courtroom. Is that true? Record to reflect, he's putting on the headphones.
going on?
Mr. Brooks, I'm inviting you
Yeah.
back to the courtroom. My understanding from a relay of
No disrespect to the judge, but I have to say it. This is a form of manipulation that he's doing in control. He likes the attention that's going back and forth. You know what I mean? He starts something, he gets kicked out, he goes to the other room, and then he tries and act like, oh, I've changed, I'll act good, and then come back. Excuse me. Do y'all remember those days like when we was like in elementary school? And it was always that one student for us that would always start something, all the attention focus on that student, and the class has to stop. We have to, focus on little Johnny or Jane because they acting up, and then they'll leave for a little while, less than 30 minutes. They coming right back with the same crap again. That's him. See, narcissistic people and sociopath people, they are like children. They never grow up. They always stay in a child state of mind, spoiled brats, want to control, want everything. It's me, me, me. It's all about them. They don't know nothing about no empathy, no remorse, or nothing. This is how they are. Resume.
information from the bailiffs is that you don't want to come back here.
I ain't say nothing.
All right, are you ready to come back then?
Not if I'm just gonna get held in contempt again.
I didn't hold you in contempt.
Then why am I even over here?
So that I could make a ruling and make a record without an interruption pursuant to my authority in Illinois versus Allen.
So did you make your record?
I did.
Am I ever gonna get a chance to make the record without being interrupted?
Mr. Brooks, I'm asking you, the first question is, do you want to come back into this courtroom?
Not if you're gonna hold me in contempt.
Sir, I need to continue with the trial. So if you don't answer yes or no, then I will presume you want to be in that courtroom, and you'll, by your conduct, waive your right to be in this courtroom.
By what conduct? I didn't consent to
By
being held.
failing to answer my question, sir. So I'll ask you again.
Are you gonna hold me in contempt? I don't want to be held in contempt.
I will ask you again, sir. Would you like to come back to this courtroom?
I'm supposed to be in there anyway.
So twice now I've asked him. He has not answered a yes or no. Mr. Brooks, I'll ask you a third time. Would you like to come back into this courtroom?
Yes, if you're not gonna hold me in contempt.
Given his yes, I will close the courtroom. He'll be brought over, and then we'll continue when he comes into this courtroom. Thank you.
And for the record, I do not consent to being called that name. No offer of proof.
I'll ask you a second to provide, sir.
We can go past all that. Some questions. It's too much of an issue. It's too much of a problem.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to ask you for a third time. Do you have an offer of proof
I
related
just said
to
no.
the
I just said no. I just said that.
All right, thank you. Then based upon there being no offer of proof, then my decision stands. As to the continuation of the examination of Ms. Patterson, I would like an offer of proof as to what you believe her probative and relevant testimony will be from this point forward.
I mean, I don't know how she's going to answer the rest of the questions. There's not that many questions left. I was almost done.
What topics generally were you going to question her about?
I guess I would have to look in here because so much that happened since over the past hour and a half or so. I can tell you one thing. I don't intend to have too many more questions. I tell you that. I was almost finished.
I need an offer of proof as to what you believe her testimony would be, meaning what topics And are they topics that have not already been covered either through her direct examination from the state, your cross-examination, or already covered by your direct?
I don't remember her. What do you mean by related to her direct? Is that from the last time she testified?
From the first date that she testified and from today?
I don't
What
remember.
new topics
I
will
don't
you be?
remember everything she testified to the first time. It was 2 weeks ago.
Well, Mr. Brooks, this is your opportunity to prevent relevant and probative evidence. But under 906.11, she's already been questioned now twice by you. So what new topics do you intend to question her about when she comes back on the witness stand?
What do you mean by new topics?
Topics that you haven't already covered.
What, pursuant to the police report or something? Is that what you're asking? I don't understand.
I'm asking you. I'll ask you once again, sir, give me an offer of proof as to what you believe your questioning will be as to Ms. Patterson going forward.
And you say it related to topics, right?
You can just give me the topics. I think that's fair.
I wanted to ask questions about the police reports. That was the last few questions. That's why I'm saying it was only.
Is it a statement that she wrote?
I don't know if it's a statement that she wrote in here.
Do
Possibly is.
you see a written statement with her signature on it?
I have to go through all the paperwork.
Is there a written statement from Ms. Patterson? It's my understanding Detective Guth spoke to her on both occasions. Is that right?
Yes, with Detective Barrett with him on the first occasion. Detective Barrett wrote that first report. Both interviews were also recorded.
Previously provided with discovery?
Absolutely.
What about the police report, sir? Do you want to question her about, so I know with specificity?
Oh, I'm looking at it now. How many officers did reports? Because it seemed like it's more than just 2. At least from this paperwork, is more than 2.
May I have Bill show me what Mr. Brooks is referring to? I can maybe help him try and explain, but
Sure.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I can't find the first page.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who was it who left me the comment, was asking me about this man in the back. And I was always wondering about him. I don't know who it was. If you hear, put in the comment section on mine, let me know. And you send me the link of the video with him. And thank you. It didn't show up because I have the links blocked and everything, but I was able to see the links that was held for review. And I watched the video. Oh yeah, this guy's a big time sewer rat supporter. Wow, that was very interesting. But I mean, hey, people can support who they want or whatever. That was interesting because I always want to know. He was always there, and he always sit in that same spot. Yeah, he said he was there to support sewer rat. Yep, yes, he was. All right, I'll resume. Let's get back to it. And whoever that was who sent me the link, I appreciate that. Thank you. And letting me know. Thank you.
To that, whoever that officer is. I have to snatch it.
So I've got pages 2 and 3 out of 6 from Detective Barrett's report under Waukesha Police Department incident number 21-047533. This is one of the 2 reports we've been talking about regarding the statements that Ms. Patterson gave to detectives on November 21st and then on November 22nd. This is the first statement.
Is that the officer you just said?
Yes.
What about that report do you want to question this witness about?
The report is not in order, so again, as I stated before, I would have to read it.
Mr. Brooks, I trust that you're prepared. These are your witnesses. So what about that report do you want to question Ms. Patterson on?
Your Honor, I just stated 3 times, I would have to read a little bit of this to form the questions.
Under my authority, under 906.11, then, and given that this witness was initially called by the state, there was a full and fair opportunity for cross-examination by Mr. Brooks at that time, and they had ample time this morning to question her. I will declare that his questioning of her to be closed. I will bring the witness out on the witness stand and then we'll bring the jury out, and then I will simply ask the state if there are any questions, and then we'll move on from there.
Just so I understand, what do you mean by close?
I'm not allowing you to ask her any additional questions, given your full and fair opportunity previously when she was called by the state, and given the opportunity you had this morning and your failure to identify for this court any probative and relevant information that she would testify to about what's in that report.
How do I, first of all, the report isn't even in order. So I would have to essentially read at least some of it to even ask a
Mr. Brooks,
question.
this is your witness. I expect that you will be prepared and you will not cause delay by any lack thereof. So I'm bringing the witness out. The jury will come out, and you will not have another opportunity to ask any additional questions unless the state asks questions on cross-examination.
So what is we bringing the witness out for?
I have to do that in front of the jury.
Man, I object to that ruling too. Can you give me a lawful law why?
Your objection is noted for the record. If you start interrupting me when the jury comes out or make any commentary, you will be removed to the other courtroom, and that's.
So I'm being held in contempt again?
No, it's not contempt, sir. It's a finding under Illinois versus Allen. It's a warning that you will forfeit your right
So I might
to
as
be
well
present.
have just
No
stayed over
such
there.
contempt finding.
I might as well have just stayed over there then if I was
Mr.
going to get held in
Brooks,
contempt.
that decision is for you and you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have 131 up in here. Please hit that like button. Okay, and if you like this kind of commentary, and check out some of my past videos, and also subscribe. I'm glad to have you over here. My channel is about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationships. And I use trial stories, I use crime stories, and I also do amination. Check out my aminations as a teaching tool to help people to date smart and not thirsty, to be careful out here in the dating scene, to make wise choices and look out for red flags, especially red flags like a sewer rat like this one. And the other person that I covered, that Matthew Terry, oh my gosh, that man was insane. I don't know why those women was with him, but that's a whole nother topic, but you can watch my past commentary on it. All right, and let's resume. And also I'm going to do another commentary on this one, but I want to focus on grandma, and I want to focus on mama sewer rats. We're going to get into them, but today we're focusing on his ex-girlfriend, baby's mothers today. We're focusing on that one. All right, I will resume. And hit the like, everybody. Hit the like.
You alone to make, and it is based on your conduct. If you're going to
Just
continue.
take me over there. Just take me over there because I'm not finna get held in contempt for nothing.
I have not held you in contempt.
You did. You're attempting to hold me in contempt. That's what that is.
No, that's not contempt.
So it's a civil criminal. Why am I being
Mr.
held in
Brooks?
contempt?
I'm
That's
going to
the-
keep
that's
you
the
in
whole-
here because
that's the whole
you're
reason
going
I
to need
didn't
to
wanna
call the
come.
next witness, and I'm going to need
Your
to
Honor.
bring you over in any event.
That's the whole reason why I didn't want to come over here, because you was gonna find a reason to hold me in contempt.
Well, I'm finding a reason, and it's not contempt, but I'd find a reason to remove you based upon your disruptive
Well, then
outbursts.
remove me if
and
that's
your-
what you wanted to remove me. Then
I don't want to do it, sir. I want
Obviously
you
you
in
do.
this courtroom.
Obviously you do. You brought it up before we can even get to.
All right. Mr. Brooks has forfeited his right to be present in this courtroom for the remainder of this witness. Even
So
though it will be
did I
short,
actually forfeit that right?
you have forfeited your right to be present.
And
As
how
the-
did I forfeit that right, Your Honor?
All right. we're going off the record so that he can be removed to the other courtroom and he can call his next witness after we complete with Ms. Patterson and giving the state an opportunity from the neighboring courtroom. And once you can promise to this court that you will abide by the rules of decorum and civility, and if you're willing to conduct yourself consistently within that, then I will allow you to come back over.
So why am I being held in contempt now?
I'm not holding you in contempt.
Then what did I do?
All right, I'm going to step off. You've interrupted repeatedly. I'm going to step off. Sir, I will ask you, would you like to come back into this courtroom as you continue with the calling of witnesses and your next witness?
I thought you was using Illinois versus Allen.
You are welcome to come back into this courtroom, sir.
So why was I removed in the first place then?
I've made my findings. The record will stand. I will ask you one last time. Would you like to come back into this courtroom as you call your next witness?
You're not finna hold me in contempt no more. Not finna do that.
Mr. Brooks is not answering my question directly. So based upon that, I'll advise him that if I will ask one more time and he fails to answer it with a yes or no, I will take that as a no, that he wants to stay in that courtroom.
You can't answer
Mr.
for
Brooks,
me. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Mr. Brooks, I'm advising you that I will. He's interrupting me once again.
Okay, you talking. You're the one talking right now, so don't do that.
I'm going to mute him because he's not being respectful and he's just spouting off. So he did not answer my question directly. He has not reclaimed his right to come back into the courtroom because number one, he has not requested it. Number two, he hasn't answered my question about whether he wants to come back in. And number three, he hasn't stated or demonstrated a willingness to conduct himself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings. I will give him one more opportunity so that it's abundantly clear on record that I.
Brittany, good evening, girl. All right, resume.
Am honoring his right to be present and I will unmute him. Sir, would you like to come back into this courtroom as you call your next witness?
Don't try to seem like you're trying to honor my rights now because you haven't.
Okay, he is again not answering the question directly.
Don't try to put on
I'm going to mute him again. As I've noted before, this is a clear method now that Mr. Brooks is employing, that when I have done something that he disagrees with, that he just continues to argue with me and does not answer questions directly. So based on his continued disruptive behavior, the fact that he will not answer my questions directly, I'll find that he's continuing to forfeit his right to be present in this courtroom. Clearly, the audio and visual technology are working. He's been responding, although not appropriately. He is in that other courtroom. We can see him. He does have the headphones on, and I've confirmed that he can see and hear as well based upon the court personnel that are in the other courtroom. Another finding that his appearance from the other courtroom is the functional equivalent of him being present in this courtroom. Mr. Brooks, before I unmute you, I am going to advise you, I will ask you to call your next witness. And if I don't get a direct response out of you, I may ask it again. And if you fail to give me a direct response, then you will forfeit your right to call any other witnesses. So I'm going to unmute you. Actually, I need to bring the jury back out. But before I do that, I will unmute you first and ask you which witness you intend to call so we can at least have that person ready to go and outside the courtroom. Who will be your next witness?
I'm not calling no witness if I got to be in this other courtroom.
Would you like to come back into this courtroom, sir?
Why was I ever removed? Never answered.
I
have to answer everything though. Everything you ask me, you expect me to answer. But then when I ask you questions, you never have to answer anything. I just put on the record that two of your bailiffs just made gestures. When I'm looking at them off the reflection of the screen, they're making gestures behind my head that make me feel uncomfortable. I just brought that up on the record. You didn't even address that.
Mr. Brooks, I didn't address it because frankly, you keep interrupting me and then I have to deal with the interruptions and make a record regarding that. So I just saw the captain walk over. I will let security personnel, Captain Dussault, look into that. And if appropriate, he can bring that conduct to my attention. I'd also remind the defendant that at any time you can also ask to be brought over through the bailiffs who are in that courtroom. So to be abundantly fair to you, I will ask one more time, would you like to come back over to this courtroom?
I should have never been removed.
That's not answering my question, sir.
You haven't answered my question.
The court's not going to answer questions directed at the court by the defendant because they're not relevant or probative at this time, and they're a delay and disruptive tactic.
They're
Mr.
not a
Brooks,
delay and disruptive tactic. Is that a judicial determination that you're making?
I'm going to mute you
Everybody
because we're
get your
going
vote
off on
in.
the judicial determinations. Every decision I make, sir, is by definition a judicial determination. It is on the record. If there is a conviction, you can raise whatever issues you want on appeal if you are convicted. But we don't need to have this back and forth every time to further make the record when the record speaks for itself. You were given plenty of
Coffee Cake, you said, did you show Erika leaving in front of the jury? If you're talking about, well, if I think what you're talking about, I already did show Erika, she was already done. And don't you remember, it was like, the judge didn't like the line of questioning, so didn't let her come back, just ended it and stopped. But then, no, there's no more of Erika now. Let me know, Coffee Cake, if I answered you correctly.
opportunities throughout this trial to make offers of proof, to state your legal reasoning for either an objection or for a question that's being asked or for a whole host of other things. But right now, you're not doing anything legally relevant. You're being disruptive. I would like you to be present. That is always what I want during this case. It certainly, I think, is important, but you can forfeit your right to be present by your conduct, which you have done repeatedly throughout this case. I will advise you that if you are in that courtroom, because I have put you there and you have not reclaimed the right to be present by, number one, asking and then expressing a willingness to conduct yourself consistently with the respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings, you will remain over there. And it looks like he took his headphones off. So I would. Mr. Brooks, I'm advising you that if you fail to call a witness, you will forfeit your right to present any additional witnesses. And I'm doing this outside the presence of the jury right now for a reason. I need to know from you right now, you are unmuted. Who is your next witness?
She trying to say something to me? Yeah.
That was very disrespectful, sir.
So why I'm going my headphones on and I'm muted?
Well, I would think your headphones help you. The
They
muting
do.
is so that I don't have to hear the disruptions.
Okay, well, then why should I need to hear what
So
you
let
say?
me be clear, sir. And you
ain't
are
gotta
not.
be clear nothing. First of all, is she talking to me again?
This.
We gotta keep doing this little childish stuff, dude. I gotta sit up here and I'm supposed to abide by every single rule, but don't nobody else gotta do that.
I have 145 people in here and nobody's voting. Only 26 votes. Come on. Hit the votes. I want to know. Come on. Let's have some fun. Hit the votes.
Judicial
Reflect that Mr. Brooks is spouting off, making
I
unsubstantiated
think the record can hear me.
allegations
I think they can hear me.
against this court,
Unless I'm
directly
muted.
attacking the integrity of this court and these proceedings, while yet
This court ain't got no
refusing
integrity.
to answer
This court don't have
simple
no
questions. Mr. Brooks, you
That's
are,
not my name. I told you I don't consent to being called that name.
sir, you are hereby advised this is the last time I will ask this question,
Don't talk
or
to me
you
like
will
that.
forfeit your right to
You
present
can't do that.
any
Show me what,
additional
show me
witnesses
where that's law.
because
Show
you
me
are
where
not
that's law.
cooperating with this process.
Show me that it's law. That's all I'm asking. Show me that it's lawful law.
Mr. Brooks,
How can I forfeit not being able to have a defense? Are you kidding me?
all I'm asking is that you conduct yourself with dignity, with decorum, and with respect. I will
Okay.
gladly bring you back into this courtroom so you can present your additional witnesses.
Your
But you
Honor,
need to ask me to come back into this courtroom.
with all due respect, I'm tired of having this back and forth with you every day. It's not my intention to come in here and have these interactions with you every day. It's not. Regardless to what you may think, regardless to how you may feel, that is not my intention. Okay? I simply do what I do because I do not have the understanding. So if I don't understand something, I'm going to ask a question. I apologize if it makes you feel that I'm intentionally trying to delay the proceedings. If I'm intentionally trying to be disruptive, because that's not the case. And I feel very disrespected every time the record is made, making it seem like that's what I'm attempting to do. So of course it's gonna frustrate. Of course it's gonna make me a little bit upset. And I just want you to understand that. It seems to me the way I'm interpreting what you're doing, which is it is your courtroom. That's not it. It's not a dispute. It's up for debate. You control what's going on in there. That's not a dispute. But the way I'm interpreting what you're doing is that I'm being held in contempt. That's how I'm interpreting. Because one of the three things that's cited in the Illinois versus Allen, one of them is being gagged. I haven't been gagged. One of them is held in contempt.
What's the third, Mr. Brooks? What's the third?
The third is removed from the courtroom while the trial continues, right? That's the third, right?
And that's what's been done.
Okay. So now, where does it say after that having me on a headset or being able to hear it, how is that not prejudicing my defense?
Sir, you can raise that issue on appeal. You can
This is
raise
why I
that
say that.
issue on appeal if you are
This is why I say
convicted.
that. This is why I say that though, because I can't even see. The only thing I can see right now when I'm looking at the TV is you and the prosecution table. I can't see anything else.
I understand that, sir. I'm fully aware of that.
So I'm not fully aware of what's going on in the courtroom. Don't I deserve that right to be able to see and hear everything that's going on?
If you can conduct yourself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings, the answer then is yes. So I'm not going to have a debate with you about the law. I will ask you again, would you like to come back into this courtroom?
Are you going to kick me out?
Sir, I'm asking the questions right now. Would you like to come back into this courtroom? Yes, sir. No. Sir, it's
Like that, because the moment I say something, it's going to get me put out. I don't want to keep hauling this stuff back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It makes essentially it wastes time. Really.
I'm well aware of that, sir, that it delays the proceedings.
But then it's laid at my feet as if that's my attempt. You think I want to be over here?
Sir, I don't know what you want or don't want at this time. I know that we need to complete this trial and that you have frustrated today more than ever before the ability of the court to do that.
Well, I apologize for you feeling that way, but I'm frustrated too. And nobody's.
See how it's poor him? It's all about him. Sociopaths have little regards for another person's emotions, rights, or experiences. They lack in remorse for their actions and they act in a way that shows no regards for others, that's him, including lying, cheating, and manipulating. Some people with this condition aren't very sly about their conduct. Others are quite deceptive. Resume.
You conform your conduct to the requirements of courtesy and decorum so that you don't run the risk of forfeiting your right to be present. But that falls on you and you alone, sir.
There is no conduct. I don't understand what you mean by that. I really don't.
Mr. Brooks, you may not understand it. I don't think that's accurate. I think you know exactly what you're doing.
If that's what you think, that's fine. I can't
And
argue with
you
you
have
about your
demonstrated
opinion.
throughout this case that you pay attention to witnesses' testimony, that you make cogent and coherent objections. At times that you have even had evidence suppressed in this case or stricken. That's the word I used during this case. You made an opening statement. You communicate with witnesses. So
Your
you
Honor,
clearly
it's
read,
not
write,
fair.
and understand English. That's not an
It's
issue
not-
here, sir.
It's not fair
Are
to
you
say-
self-represented? Absolutely. Does that present difficulties and disadvantages? Absolutely. But that takes me back to when you waived your right to counsel. And you did so knowingly, freely, voluntarily, and with a full understanding of the disadvantages and advantages of doing so, meaning advantages.
And shout out to Angie Scott. Thank you for the $20 super chat and blessings. Thank you to the blessings towards the channel. I appreciate it and glad to have you aboard. Hugs and kisses to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to resume. Thank you again.
Of having an attorney, the disadvantages of doing it on your own, and you made a deliberate decision to
Your Honor, that's
represent
not fair.
yourself, and that comes at a risk to you of, yes, at times not fully understanding the law, the rules of evidence, the rules of procedure, but you
That's
do
not
so
fair.
at your peril.
That's not fair to state, Your Honor, because
So I'm going to do the following, since I'm not really getting anywhere. I'm going to mute you for the moment. I'm not getting anywhere with him. I would like him to be brought over. And he has a choice to make. He can come back over or he doesn't. Either way, he's going to be asked to call a witness in front of the jury. I will ask him 3 times if he fails to give me a direct answer. And after the 3rd time, I will make the appropriate finding, but I will do that outside the presence of the jury. But we are going to continue. So we'll go off the record and he'll come back over here. Thank you. We are in recess until that happens.
I mean, just
Connell.
let's go. Deanna Aldridge.
Deanna Aldridge? All right, very well.
I have 140 people here. There's not enough votes. I want to read the votes. Everybody votes. It only says 52 votes. Come on, put your vote in. I want to read off. All right. Resume. I'm doing fine, Storm. Blessings to you. Good to have you here this evening.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I think she was in the other building, so.
It's all right. Thank you for letting us know.
Yep, Rusty, that was it. With his mama car in the back that he tore up. And she support this monster. You got to be kidding me. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do another one on this one, but I'm going to focus on the Surratt family. Grandma Surratt and then Mama Surratt. His mama and his grandma. We're going to get into that one, but that'll be another time. Reason. Stephanie, welcome. Western Maryland in the house. Blessings to you, girl.
Good afternoon, Miss Aldrich. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. It is up by me. It's up a riser. When you get all the way to the witness stand, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, who's on my left and will be across from you, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Come up and have a seat.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm gonna end it here. I just realized that this lady here. This is so hard to listen to, because if I'm correct, this is a lady. All four of her children got hurt. So sad. So sad. All four. This man don't care. He doesn't have no remorse. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Let me know if you want to watch or no. No, we're not even gonna go there. Let's just drop. What focus was this on Erica? That's just about it. But I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for engaging. All right, Nikki says felt that I cannot fathom being 8 to 10 now, having to live life out that way. Okay, let me see. Am I getting everybody's comments? Mod on deck. Okay, let me read the votes. What was I up to? My gosh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna read the votes and then close it out. Let me stop sharing here. Stop sharing this screen here. Okay, we're gonna get into the votes. And Stephanie, blessings to you. I was gonna call people's names. If I miss your name, no disrespect and everything. Monica, blessings to you. Lovejoy, blessings to you. Heather, blessings to you. Let me put some sort of sounds on here. Okay. Nikki, blessing to you. You also bacon. The fact that I can listen one day to like little kids testifies about this honor, this horror, excuse me, they saw and felt. That was so hard, wasn't it, Nikki? And blessed to you, Rusty. I like to see him brought over Donna. Oh, Rusty. Okay. All right. What else? Nick? I think I did that one. And Heather, blessings to you. All right. Who else did I miss here? And Suzanne, you voted good. And blessings to you. Blessings to you. And also blessings to you, Strong. I think I spoke to you. B. BJ Price, blessings to you. Don't need a man mod on deck. Abby Lane, good evening, Donna. I'm new viewer and I am truly enjoying your channel. Oh, bless you. Glad to have you here. I'm unable to vote. It won't take my vote. I I agree with what you are saying about this being his control of the situation. Exactly, Abby. That's what it's all about. All right. And Price said grandma needs to get out of the mental health coaching business. Oh my God, I can't. I can't. Okay, you voted too. All right, 603. And who else here? Daphne, because he's making it worse on himself. Yep, he is. But he's done. He'll never be able to walk the streets again, Daphne. Never, 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 never. Okay, I think I caught up on the comments here. I think I agreed about everybody here. Well, I probably missed some people. And coffee cakes, evening to you. Jade, evening to you. Stacy G, evening to you. He's an absolute monster for calling her. Exactly. He is. He truly is. All right, so we have here, Price says, don't let him have the privilege of watching this. You are a great commentator. Oh, thank you so much, Coffee Cake. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it says her impact statement was devastating. Yeah, it was. I don't want to even go there. That was so hard. All four of her children. All four. All righty. And what else we have? Good night, everyone. Miss Donna, Mr. Jack, in chat. Oh, let me read the votes because it's about to end here. Let me just read the votes. Okay, hopefully everybody got their votes in, if you was able to. We have 67 votes. Are you a true crime junkie? Yes, I am. Donna, 58% says. And 4%, nah, not really. And 37% said true crimes and trial junkie. Awesome. All right. I'm gonna end here. So everybody had themselves a blessed night and a safe one. And I'll try to do some more commentary, but I want to focus on who I want to focus on. I want to focus on them. Yes, focus on them. What they had to say in the courtroom. All right. So basically, everybody, date smart, not thirsty. Be careful who you entertain, who you let in your life. There's a lot of people that come into your life with bad intentions. They don't have good intentions. You have to watch out for these narcissists. You have to watch out for these sociopaths, and they're all over the place. Histrionics, borderline personality disorder, psychopaths, they're all over the place. They're at your workplace, they're at your church, they're at your gym, your friends, your family, your husband, your wife, who you're dating, they all over, or your children or your parents, unfortunately. That can be said. All right, so everybody had themselves a blessed night and a safe one. And if you didn't hit the like, please hit the like on your way out. And did I miss something? Oh, wait a minute. Come on, Christ. Let me say. Oh, James, and blessings to you, James. All right, everybody. Bye. Have yourselves a blessed night and a safe one. Bye.